Well, here we are, the Nintendo Switch 2 on Nintendo Direct. So the newest console from Nintendo, a build up on the Nintendo Switch 1, as per the name. My goal here is just to explain like what's going on, add some commentary. I've had a Switch 1 for the last 4 years, and am I gonna make the Switch? Get it? Nintendo Switch. Um, so let's go over. Sometimes the information is kind of like all over the place, and some of it is like extra and not that interesting. So I'll start with what are the two new major Nintendo games coming out? They're two games, essentially why people are going to buy the Switch 2.
Let's go!
So essentially, Mario Kart. Now, this Mario Kart is a bit interesting because, well, there's the new maps that's going to have, but they're also gonna they're trying to have some more cooperative nature to it. So they're gonna have like free roam. So like you could like go around the world. It's gonna be called Mario Kart World, and I think they want more of an open world feeling. So let me show you what I mean by this.
A brand new entry in the Mario Kart series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Welcome to this vast world. Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe. Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change. And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world. In the Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up. Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another. There are multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line? You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam. By going off-road, you can explore new areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you. You can also go for scenic drives with friends, and even take photos together at different locations.
So as we see here, it's a Mario Kart game, but it's a bit more dynamic and more like a world experience. Instead of, before it's like you kind of like play like 5 minute games in these little tracks. Now you have the knockout tour. So basically, instead of you enter a lobby, you wait, you start the match, you play for 5 minutes, game's over, go back to lobby. It's continuous, so it feels like a continuous world, right? And they also have their open world roaming option too. So plus the different the weather effects is not necessarily tied to the map. I feel it's gonna be more. It just feels like a normal world, right? Where sometimes it's nighttime, sometimes it's daytime, sometimes it's rainy, sometimes it's not. It might not be as like, oh, this is the nighttime version of the map. More like it's the same world. You're just in a part of that world. instead of just in a map, and that world is going through dynamic weather effects. So in many ways, it does feel like a very big Mario Kart game. It does feel like a Mario Kart world. So it's kind of interesting. Like now that I'm looking at it again, I'm more there's a cool open world nature to it. There's a cooperative nature to it where you could play with your friends. The only thing is you need friends to play with, right? It's kind of weird to like just play with four random strangers and not be talking in an open world game that has no objectives unless they start giving some, like unless like you're with people and then like you just like start a race at any particular location of the map and then just get there as quickly as possible. That might be interesting. But now there's the second game that's coming out. That was Mario Kart. And let me get ready for the next one. And there's Donkey Kong. So those are the two major games coming out. This very interesting, very large Mario Kart game, which honestly, if you have one game on the Switch, I think Mario Kart is a good game to have because it's easy to learn, hard to master, right? So it's like you could really sink your teeth into it. You could keep getting better. It's good for casual gamers that just want to play for 20 minutes, and it's good for competitive gamers that want to really get good at it. And also to have a connecting game that's more of like a platform. And this Donkey Kong seems to have a lot of terraforming, where you're able to destroy the environment and use this environment to either traverse, with like a tunnel that you made yourself, not like pre-made tunnels like in Mario. So very dynamic. Dynamic seems to be the name of the game here. Or you can use it as weapons. So I think it's kind of good. They do connect very well, but I wouldn't have mind like another game, but it doesn't end there. They're now like, what about the previous games that you currently had on the original Nintendo, right? What about like Breath of the Wild? One of the things that I wanted with the Switch 2 would be just to play the original Switch titles, but at a higher resolution and just at a higher frames per second. Let's see what it says about that.
Some games that were released on Switch will receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more. Now, I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree. Please take a look.
Super Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2. The upgrade expands on the base game and adds new features, including mouse controls, audio recognition, more expressive rumble, and gameplay that uses a camera accessory, all of which can be accessed on Switch 2. Let's check out 3 new and updated modes. First up is Mario Party mode. With a single camera, up to 4 players can join the festivities. You'll be able to see each other's faces as you play, so you can experience all the reactions and emotions in real time.
Nintendo Switch 2 editions of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom feature enhanced resolution and frame rates, and also support HDR, which makes the image more vibrant, so you can play with smoother, higher definition graphics. Plus, you can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes. This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices. It's a game-specific service that's exclusive to the Switch 2 editions of these titles. For example, it can help guide you to various locations, like shrines and Koroks you haven't found yet.
Guidance activating. Proceed north.
We hope these features will make your adventures even more enjoyable. In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you'll be able to enjoy an additional story exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, along with improved graphics and frame rates.
So, you have those two new games. You're going to have to either buy, I think, the Switch 2 version of like the older ones, the Switch 1, the two Zeldas, and the Kirby game. Or you're going to be able to pay for an update if you already own the originals. It's cool. I feel like maybe the upgrade should be maybe for free because the people already own it, and then you're giving them a reason. Like you have to bridge the people between the original Switch and the Switch 2, right? Like you need to transition people. And to be like you own the game but pay it again, or like you have to pay for that transition while you're already buying the console. I don't know. Would I buy it? Yeah, but my problem was like I played a lot of those Zelda games, like 300 hours. I was like, oh, the Switch 2 is coming out, so I'm just gonna like play a lot of my favorite Switch 1 titles. But I don't know if I want to play it again even, right? Or I wish they let me know beforehand saying, hey, we're gonna be making an upgraded version of this one. So like maybe I could have just played it halfway and just waited and not played, 300 hours, whatever. So those are what's going to happen with. So some of the games are getting like little updates. You're going to have to pay for those updates, it seems. My question is, can I just plop in my old cartridge, my old Nintendo Switch cartridge, and still maybe have the increased frame rate and some performance increases without the extra content, for example? They also, as you see, there was a camera, so they're really, and there's like you could turn the manette into a mouse, and I do applaud Nintendo for always trying to add a cooperative and playing with their designs, right? There's also an updated version of like a Metro game, so it's like a shooter. So it's like a mouse, where sometimes a mouse and shooting games can feel more intuitive and more accurate because there's a 1-to-1 ratio of where you're moving and where the cursor's going, as opposed to a controller where you're moving and it's not consistent because it's at an inconsistent angle. It makes shooting games feel harder to do. So we have those two new games, and then we have the updated version of Kirby. The Zelda games, and I think there's a Metro game as well. And there's also the ability to turn your keyboard or your controller into a mouse. And the face things is cool, but I feel like they're really trying to push this cooperative nature. It's almost like they want it to feel like you're in the same room with your friends, so you could share like a microphone and a face with their new connecting features or their elements. But you kind of need to have friends to do that, right? So like that feature doesn't really appeal to me or apply to me because I can't easily get 5 people to like, let's all play Nintendo games together. and like show our faces and like play like it's a board game, right? Like we're in the same room. Maybe other people it appeals to, but like not to me. I can show you that here.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys. That was me. That was you? So quick. Oh, no. Wait, no.
Nix, I'm coming for you.
No, I'm about to get
Come on, no.
Oh.
Introducing Game Chat, a new feature for Nintendo Switch 2.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah?
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
For an adventure.
While using the Game Chat feature, your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right? All right, let's keep going. Okay. So,
It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
look at this. Jump on here. All right, let's keep going. Let's make a left right here. Let's make a.
When it's noisy around you,
I'm lost. Like,
Where'd you go?
or expand another friend's game screen.
You gotta get above that.
So we can see here they have like a little game chat. So you press the chat button on your controller and you enter a game chat mode with your friends and you could talk to them. That's kind of cool, like Discord and whatnot. They have that like Teams. You can also show your face in it with the camera, or you can use their built-in microphone, which is nice to have. I'm not sure why they don't have a built-in. Maybe because of the angle, like a built-in camera as well. But it's kind of cool. Like you kind of look like a streamer or a YouTuber. I wish they just had a way that you could just stream this to Twitch or make a video on YouTube though with this technology, as opposed to just sharing it with your friends. Because again, not everyone has friends that they could easily access, and that would also a big TV that you could kind of give up a bit of your portion. Like yes, you could decide how big and small it is, but it just seems like they want it to feel like it's your 5 people playing your individual games in the same room talking to each other. I don't really see that as a common thing, right? I don't see that many people using this. And ironically, like Japanese people are they're typically more lonely. I don't know why they have all these social elements, like they're like it's like you're always in the same room. Or if I'm playing a game, I don't necessarily want to see my friend's game in the corner and they're playing a different game and then like pausing my game and then looking at their big game. And even like when they're trying to like show you in the trailer, kind of looks awkward. It's like, whoa, what's happening? And like person's like, oh, I don't know, let me pause my game and let me look at your game in full screen. And you're like, what? Who's gonna do this? It's kind of cool that they have these like social elements, but like, will they also be able to bridge the gap between playing with strangers online, becoming friends with them, and then maybe having like a party, right? Will they have like a drop in, drop out, or like you and your 3 friends could be playing, but you have like an open section for another person to come in, right? And then maybe you can meet friends that way. Like when I go to board games in real life, I don't go with I meet new people while I'm there. It's almost like it's an open event and you come in. I don't necessarily get 5 friends by a board game. Like I go to board game events so that they can replicate that, or bridge the gap between you coming in by yourself into an open lobby and then maybe making friends there. It seems like you need to already have your pre-made group, which again does not really apply or appeal to me. Let me know if it appeals to you. Like, do you want to video chat with your friends while playing? That could be a cool feature. That's not. Before I used to have to use my phone. But to like see their faces, I don't know. It's kind of cool how they implemented in the game though, like where you have like your little face next to your characters. I think that might be more fun than just seeing on the bottom. Show it again.
hey. No, wait. Go left, left. I'll let you fix
Go a little
it.
more this way.
Using
Like if you saw there, like it's not like a awkward square on the bottom, but it's like built into the game, and that might be nice. Or if like you could give a reaction or something in real time, like you're playing Mario, and then you can see like their face like, occasionally, like when they die or when like they do an event, or they could press a button and show their face, say thank you or something. That might be interesting. But the so that's pretty much it. Like the screen is a little bit bigger. You could dock it the same way. Like there's some technical aspects where like there's a fan in the docking system, not just in the Switch itself. So like you have more cooling and whatnot. But for the average person, I think you want to know what games are coming out, what can I do with my previous games, and how do I interact with the product. And in most of this, it's the same style, except it's magnetic controllers. There's 2 new games coming out. There's like 4 upgraded games they have to pay for. I'm kind of curious, is that worth enough for you? And then there's the whole social aspect of it, where like you could kind of like play with your friends. Oh, and there's also one cool social aspect where if you own the game and there's a cooperative nature to it, some games not both people don't have to buy the game, only one person. So if you have like 5 friends, or like, and it's 5 people, or maybe let's say like 3 people could cooperate in this game. Only one person needs to buy it, because it's like when people used to come to your house and play it. Let me show it.
Using just one game with GameShare. As shown here, even games that require multiple screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With GameShare, you can temporarily share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2 or a Nintendo Switch system. You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. GameShare also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which we showed earlier. GameShare can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned for several titles, starting with a free update for Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics on Nintendo Switch.
So over here, we have the Game Share feature. It's only available, or it's only going to be available for one game currently, but they're going to ramp it up. I think it's pretty cool. So what can you do with the controller? You could take out the controller, you could turn it, and it becomes 2 controllers, like the original Switch, right? You can turn it into a mouse, so it's very versatile for just a controller. There's a built-in microphone, so you don't have to pay for that, which is a nice feature. So you have that element if you want to play with friends. And you have the Game Share feature. So these are like really high level things for the consumer, right? Like other companies are trying to make it harder for you to share your games, and Nintendo is trying to make it easier, where only one person needs to have the game and they can share it with their friends, and then they could use the built-in microphone to communicate with their friends. They're really trying to add this socialization element to it. But again, for me, I don't think it'll apply because I don't have 5 friends on my Switch. I feel it's, at least in Canada, it's very hard to get people to at the same. I rather meet people where they're at than try to get my friends to do something, right? So it's like if I want to play an online game, I feel it's easier just to play that online game and meet people who are playing the online game already. Or if I want to play board games, instead of trying to get my friends to come and play board games, I'll go to a board game event, right? Like I like to meet people where they're at and already doing the activity. I feel it's easier than converting and being an organizer. So maybe you guys have friends that will take the initiative and like, Friday night could be game night and buy pizza and see each other's faces and share one game. That could be great. But for me, it doesn't apply. But for me, the major things are the new games, upgraded old games, and that's it. It comes out.
Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th. Finally, here are the hardware options that will be available at launch. We'll release Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World.
There we have it. It comes out in 2 months, June 2025. And it comes out with it by itself or with the Mario Kart bundle. I mean, it's kind of good that they already have a bundle, so Nintendo doesn't generally go on discounts, so it's not really worth it to wait, I feel like, unless you just want to wait for a bigger catalog. But are you going to buy it day one? Do you trust that they're going to keep adding more games in a timely manner? Or are you going to wait? Or are you just happy with your original Switch? Or you just don't have anything and you're fine with that as well? Let me know. Thank you.